Welcome back to the deep dive. Usually we are tearing apart complex tech stacks or, looking at the macroeconomics of some distant market. But today we're looking at something a little more visceral. We are looking at sweat equity, literally.
Literally and financially.
Exactly. We are talking about the fitness industry. But I don't want you to tune out thinking this is going to be about the latest kettlebell trend or anything.
No, not at all.
We are looking at a fundamental shift in where fitness happens and, more importantly, who is allowed to sell it.
Right, because if you think about it, for the last 50 years or so, the model's been incredibly static, hasn't it? You go to a building, it smells like rubber and effort, you pay a membership.
And maybe, if you've got the cash, you hire a guy in a branded polo shirt to count your reps for you.
And tell you your form is terrible. Yeah.
And today's deep dive is challenging that whole structure. We're looking at a stack of documentation for a platform called Fitness Roars and the Roar ecosystem. It was founded by Paul Milana. And I have to say, when I first opened these files, I honestly thought, okay, another fitness app. Great.
Just what the world needs.
Exactly. But digging into this operational framework, it's not just an app, is it?
No, not at all. If you treat it like just another app on the App Store, you miss the bigger picture entirely. This is really a proposal for a new kind of economy within the fitness world, a complete reimagining.
So the mission here, and they're explicit about this in the source material, is to answer a really tricky question. How do you create a safe, professional space for fitness pros outside of that traditional regulated gym environment?
Because right now, the internet is basically the Wild West.
It is. It's the frontier. You've
Yeah.
got influencers with great abs, but zero qualifications giving advice that can actually hurt people.
Right. And on the flip side, you have highly qualified trainers who can't make a living because they're tethered to a gym that takes, what, 60% of their income?
So the documents we have, they're trying to solve both sides of that equation. But
Yeah.
the thing that really jumped out at me, the aha moment, was the legal gymnastics involved.
Gymnastics is the perfect word for it. It's a total balancing act.
It's this tension, right? Wanting to certify people, but being terrified of stepping on the toes of the big regulators,
Yeah.
like Ofqual in the UK or the big PT bodies.
That is the core friction. And that's what makes this framework so fascinating to analyze. This model, it doesn't try to fight them. It tries to build a parallel universe where they don't apply, but strict standards still exist.
Okay, before we get into the legal weeds, and we will, let's just define what we're actually looking at. What is the ROR ecosystem?
So you need to kind of shift your mental model. Don't think of it as an app you download to track your steps. Think of it as a virtual gym ecosystem. That's the term they use.
So it has the function of a gym, but it lives in the cloud.
Precisely. Users can book virtual sessions, they can get private home-based training, and this is key. They can connect socially. They're trying to replicate that community aspect.
They have this gym buddy matching thing, which we should definitely talk about later.
Yeah.
But I want to focus on the problem it solves first. The documents talk a lot about accessibility. Usually that just means, an easy-to-use interface. But it seems deeper here.
It's much deeper. It's about the barriers to fitness itself. The framework explicitly lists things like gym intimidation.
Which is a very real thing. That
Yeah.
feeling of walking into a weight room and feeling like you just don't belong.
Absolutely. Whether it's anxiety, body image, disability, or even just geography, if you live 30 minutes from the nearest gym, you probably aren't going.
Right.
The brick and mortar model just excludes a huge chunk of the population. RAR is basically saying, we bring the professional to you.
But here's the catch.
Yeah.
This is where the fitness roars part comes in. You can't just sign up and say, hey, I lifted weights in high school, pay me $50.
Right. And that's the big differentiator. Most gig economy apps are pretty loose, A quick background check and you're off. But Fitness Roars, this is the education and standards arm. The internal certification is mandatory.
So it's a gatekeeper.
It's the gatekeeper, yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to offer paid services on their platform, you have to go through their framework. You can't bypass it.
That's interesting. So even if I'm a certified trainer already, say I have a degree in sports science, I still have to learn their way.
You do, because their way is specifically designed to keep you legally safe in a virtual environment. The liabilities are different, the communication is different.
Okay, let's unpack that. The regulatory positioning. This was the part of the framework that really made me sit up. It feels like they're threading a very, very tiny needle.
This is the smartest part of the whole document, honestly.
They are so careful with their words. I noticed they just dance around the term personal trainer. They will not use it.
That's completely intentional. In the UK and many other places, personal trainer, or PT, is tied to specific government-regulated standards, usually a level 3 qualification.
So if RoarR started handing out certificates saying certified personal trainer, they'd be in trouble.
Oh, they'd be in hot water immediately. They'd be claiming to offer a regulated qualification when they aren't a regulated body. So the framework is explicit. Fitness Roar certifications are internal to the RoarR platform. They are not regulated qualifications.
Meaning if I get my RoarR certificate, I can't just walk into a Gold's Gym and demand a job.
Nope, you'd be laughed out of the building. And the framework makes that crystal clear. It does not give you permission to work on a physical gym floor.
So they had to invent their own titles? They couldn't use trainers, so what did they come up with?
This is where we see the stage-based framework. It's designed to define the scope of practice so narrowly that it's legally airtight. It starts with Stage 1, the Certified Fitness Advisor.
Advisor. It sounds softer, less clinical than trainer.
Exactly. The role is defined as providing guidance, motivation, and safe movement. But the limitations are strict. It's only for one-to-one virtual video calls or private home settings.
So no groups.
No groups at Stage 1. And absolutely no gym floor instruction. The document explicitly says, no claiming to be a PT. They're there for habit building, general well-being.
That's clever. It lowers the liability, doesn't it?
Mm.
If I'm just advising you on habits, I'm not training you in the same way a level 3 PT claims to.
Correct. It strips away the things that are irrelevant to virtual training. You don't need to know how to fix a cable machine to coach someone over Zoom on how to do a push-up.
Okay, so that's Stage 1. Then we have Stage 2, the Certified Fitness Leader. How does that differ?
A leader builds on the advisor role. The key thing here is they can manage complexity. So a Stage 2 leader can run group virtual sessions, they can lead buddy workouts, moderate the community.
And they mentor the Stage 1 advisors, right?
Yes, it creates an internal hierarchy. But again, and the document stresses this over and over, Stage 2 still has the same exclusions, no regulated gym instruction.
It creates a parallel career path.
Exactly. It's saying, look, if you want to be a gym floor PT, go get your level 3. But if you want to run a successful online coaching business, we give you the structure to do that, legitimately, within our world.
It's like they've created a walled garden. Inside the garden, these titles mean everything. Outside, they mean nothing.
That's the trade-off. You trade universal recognition for a very specific platform-enabled opportunity.
Speaking of opportunity, let's talk about the money. Because passion is great, but, rent is due on the first. The earnings model in here is aggressive.
It's a massive departure from the industry standard. It's really disruptive.
For listeners who don't know the inside baseball of fitness, what's a typical split? If I work at a big gym, how much do I actually keep?
Oh, it's brutal. It's not uncommon for the gym to take 50, sometimes 60% of the session fee. Plus, trainers often have to pay floor rent.
So you're paying just for the privilege of working there.
Essentially, yeah. You start the month in debt to your employer. It's a high-pressure sales environment.
And RoarR's model.
The advisors and leaders retain 80% of their session fees. The platform takes 20.
80%. That is a massive difference. Let's do the napkin math. If I charge $50 an hour.
In a gym, you might see 20, 25 bucks. On RR, you keep 40.
That completely changes the economics of the profession. You don't have to burn yourself out with 40 sessions a week just to survive.
Right, and you have to ask, what does that 20% cover? The framework says it's the digital infrastructure, moderation, support, all the transaction fees.
Which seems fair. They provide the virtual building. You pay a small rent.
And they provide the tools. The framework lists in-app scheduling, secure payments, integrated video calls.
That secure payment thing is huge. I've known trainers who try to manage their own business using Venmo, and it's just awkward.
It's so unprofessional. Chasing clients for money is the worst part of freelancing. This automates it.
The documents also mention secure messaging for safety.
Yes, this is about boundaries. In the traditional world, trainers end up giving their personal cell number to clients. That blurs the line between professional and friend.
Right. Suddenly you're getting texts at 10 p.m. about carb loading.
Or worse. Keeping all communication in the app protects the advisor's privacy and the client's data. It maintains that professional distance.
So the business model is solid. It treats the pro like a business owner.
Yeah.
But let's pivot to the human element. Because you can have the best tech, but if people are lonely, they won't use it.
This is where RoarR moves from being just a transactional platform to a real community. the Gym Buddy feature.
I loved this. It's like a dating app, but for sweating.
Well, hopefully with better outcomes. Yes. The source material highlights this crisis of loneliness, and going to the gym alone is a huge hurdle.
It's the spotlight effect, right? You feel like everyone is watching you.
Exactly. So the Gym Buddy feature lets you find workout partners, but here's the cool twist. You can find a partner at your own physical gym.
Wait, say that again? I use the app to find someone who goes to my local gym.
Yes. So you can meet up, say hi, and then you just train. Independently, but together. It's all about accountability. Just knowing someone is there waiting for you makes a huge difference.
That's brilliant. It's not, let's hold hands and do squats. It's, I'll see you there at 6.
Exactly. It's a spotter for your motivation, not just your bench press. Or, of course, you can match for virtual sessions if you're working out at home.
If we zoom out, the social impact here is actually pretty profound.
It is. It reduces isolation. But think about the other side of accessibility for the worker.
We mentioned it's hard for users with disabilities. It's also hard for trainers with disabilities.
Correct. If you're a wheelchair user, or you have chronic fatigue, or you're a single parent who can't leave the house for 8 hours, you can't be a traditional personal trainer. The gym floor excludes you.
But this virtual model,
This model opens the door. It creates a return-to-work opportunity for talented coaches who have the knowledge, but maybe not the physical capacity for that environment. It democratizes the profession.
that's a huge aspect of inclusion I hadn't really considered. We always think about the consumer.
And that's why the internal certification is so important. It lets ROR set standards that are inclusive of these groups instead of just relying on industry standards that can be exclusionary.
Okay, so whenever we talk about new certifications, there's always a question of credibility. Is this just some flash in the pan? But the document mentions something interesting about the YMCA.
Yes, this is the future-proofing section. And I love this because it shows real long-term strategic thinking.
YMCA awards is a big deal, right?
Right.
Especially in the UK and Europe.
Huge. A globally recognized awarding organization. The framework is structured to allow for future CPD continuing professional development endorsement by a body like YMCA Awards.
But wait, hold on. If they get endorsed by the YMCA, does that mean they become a regulated qualification? Does an advisor suddenly become a PT?
No. And that is a crucial distinction. The document says even with an endorsement, it applies to the content and the standards. It validates the quality of the education. It does not change the legal status.
So it's like a Michelin star. It tells you the food is good, but it doesn't make the chef a doctor.
That's a fantastic analogy. It legitimizes the quality without changing the category. It signals to the industry, hey, we're not just making this up, we're following best practices.
The text also emphasizes that this isn't just a concept note. It says it's an operational framework ready for grant applications.
That's the key takeaway for any investor or partner. It signals this has been thought through properly. It's not a vague idea. It's a structured, legally compliant business in a box.
It's fascinating how they built this parallel universe. It's like they looked at the traditional gym model, saw all the barriers, cost, location, regulation, and just said, we'll build our own world over here.
And they built it with safety rails. That's the most impressive part. Usually, disruption means breaking the rules and asking for forgiveness later. You know, like Uber in the early days.
Right, move fast and break things.
Here, they are meticulously following the rules by defining their own scope so narrowly that they don't break any laws. They aren't pretending to be something they aren't.
So to recap,
Yeah.
Stage 1 advisor keeps you safe in a one-on-one virtual setting. Stage 2 leader lets you manage groups,
And you keep 80% of what you earn.
which is the cherry on top. It really creates a sustainable ecosystem, doesn't it? You have happier professionals, you have users who feel safer, and a platform that handles the boring stuff.
It sounds like a win-win-win, but surely there are risks.
Well, yeah, I mean, it relies on that internal certification being really rigorous. If standards slip, the whole thing falls apart.
Exactly. If a fitness advisor gives bad advice and someone throws out their back, that we aren't a regulated body, defense might get tested in court.
True. Which is why the mandatory nature of the education is so vital. They have to control the quality to protect the whole platform.
Right. It puts the onus on the platform, not just the individual.
So what does this all mean for the future? We've looked at the ecosystem, the legal positioning, the financials, the social impact.
I think it represents a maturity in the digital fitness space. We've moved from the anyone can post a workout video YouTube era to a new phase. Here is a structured, professional career path for the digital age.
It's professionalism without the gatekeeping of the old guard.
Precisely. And for you listening, whether you're a fitness pro looking for a better deal or you're someone who is terrified of the squat rack, this offers a viable alternative.
It's about meeting people where they are, literally, in their living rooms.
And respecting the professionals enough to pay them fairly.
Amen to that. So the main aha moment here really is that you can create a professional, safe, and lucrative fitness career outside a gym. You just have to be incredibly strict about defining your scope. You are an advisor, not a PT.
And by accepting those limitations, you actually gain a massive amount of freedom. Freedom of location, schedule, and that financial freedom from the 80-20 split.
It really democratizes fitness then. It opens it up for the people working in it and the people using it.
It does. It's a model that says fitness is a service, not a location.
I love that.
Yeah.
Fitness is a service, not a location. That's the core shift.
That's the future.
So here's a thought to leave you with, and I want you to really mull this over. As the world becomes more virtual, will we see more industries adopt this kind of internal certification model? Imagine a world where we bypass traditional gatekeepers in other fields, maybe education, consulting, even mental health coaching, while still maintaining strict standards through these internal platform-specific certifications.
That is the question, isn't it? Are we moving toward a world where the platform is the regulator?
And if we are we ready for it?
Something to think about.
For sure. Something to think about while you do your next set of push-ups in your living room. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.
See you next time.
Bye for now.